Hello there. The Remainers are extremely keen to get their hands on the so far secret Brexit reports into 58 sectors of the economy which they believe show that the UK will turn into an economic dust bowl when we do actually leave the European Union. So far, government ministers have refused to release the contents of work done on how Brexit will affect 58 sectors of the economy on the basis that they need a safe space within which to conduct their negotiations with the EU. A Labour MP on the Brexit committee, Seema Malhotra, has asked for information on the studies and said of the refusal, "The government's reference to needing to conduct Brexit policymaking in a safe space to allow for design and deliberation to be done in private seems to be more about keeping Parliament and the public in the dark." The Department for Exiting the EU, DEX-EU, said that releasing the documents could undermine the effective formulation or development of policies which are key to our negotiating strategy. DEX-EU also pointed out that disclosure of these documents could set a precedent that would inhibit free and frank discussion in the future. Without the necessary safe space for unreserved instruction in commissioning briefs, the quality of the eventual advice from the respective exercise would be diminished and would in turn lead to poorer decision making. That is to say, if there was a danger that a report written in confidence for ministers would then be made public, then the authors would end up crafting it into a bland, non-committal and useless document, instead of one that was informative, frank and to the point. Also, bear in mind that these reports are there to inform negotiations, not as part of an in-out referendum argument. But what many people miss here is that for decades the UK Parliament has been kept well outside of the loop on much of the EU lawmaking process that has affected so much of our lives. Did you know that an MEP votes on about 6 times as many laws every year than a UK MP does, and those EU laws are not debated on in Westminster? Those laws were made in another country by another system of government and imposed on us to the extent that our politicians had to make sure that every law they passed in Westminster was in total compliance with EU law. Further to that, any laws they made that were not compliant with EU law could be challenged and declared null and void in our own UK courts. And all this, whether or not the EU laws were good for the UK or not. Now the Remainers, the very people who lauded that system, the very people that were content to act as though the UK Parliament was little more than an EU parish council, suddenly want to take a keen interest in how the country is really run. And the only reason they want to take such a keen interest is so they can put the largest possible spanner they can find in the works to try and somehow derail Brexit. So they can go back to their parish council attitude and leave running the country to someone else, as long as they're not British. When the EU held all the power, they were content to do what they were told and to just tailor UK law to fit, or even shoehorn it in with a large mallet if it didn't. As far as I'm concerned, they lost the moral right to scrutinise at this level when they voted and argued for remaining in the EU. When they voted and argued for staying in a system where they had no right to scrutinise, only the right to obey. Now we hear that the three stooges, Kenneth Clarke, Nick Clegg and Lord Adonis, have gone to have a chat with the EU chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier. Now I wonder if they went over there on a mission to help the government to get a good robust deal for a sovereign independent UK. I'll leave the answer to that one to your tender imaginations. So, what do you think? Should there be open season for the Remainers on those secret reports? Or should they be kept under wraps to give our negotiators the room they need to get on with the talks? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video. And also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.